Welcome back to the Blissful Badger. I want to get these painted black tonight. Oh, yes. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, yeah. This is the black that has a tip that didn't want to work. Yay. Safety pin to the rescue. Welcome back, mustache. Yes, black. Okay. Clean that nozzle. There we go. Good thing I need a lot of it because it just went. Alright. Ah, yes. We have 65 gaunts waiting for black. Yep. So. This may be a little bit messier than I would like, but just thinning it down a little bit. You can see it's going all over the place. I'll watch it later. Yep, that black's all over the place, but at least it's still in the unicorn, right? Alright, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit and set the focus. That should be good. Yep. It's okay because we'll be using even more than that. Oh, and I've already made a mistake. Yay. The good news is on a Termagant, you can barely tell that there's a mistake. Because overall, the swarm is what's more important. So it took a minute to do the dry brush and 2 minutes to do the pallid bone. So I'm expecting it to take more than 3 minutes for the black. Per Termagant. Yay. Yep, hive mutations, yeah. So how are you today, Mustache? How's the week been going? At some point I might zoom in a little bit more, but for now, this looks like a decent angle. Okay, that is 1. Haha! Oh, you built the Gremmery. Cool, cool. Yeah, definitely share some photos. Ooh, and more. That's great. But yeah, that's 1 with all the black. So I'm gonna clean the brush real quick. So yeah, the difference between with and without the black. It definitely changes the look of the Termagant. So, without even having the feathering out on it, it definitely changes it, right? So, 1 down. So, I mean, there's still several steps left to get them done, but it's that much closer, right? So it will be a 3-hour stream tonight. I might not get all of them painted black, but 3 hours is about right. I still have to edit a video for tomorrow. I've already filmed said video, I just have to edit it. Let's see. Mega size kit. Not all of the kits come with stands. That is not a guarantee. So don't worry about that. The first 3 that I've built didn't come with stands. And a 2-to-1 scale would be, what, like 5 stories tall? 6 stories tall? That'd be fun. See, if I were to build something to live in, as far as sci-fi goes, I think I would build Firefly. You know, I would build a Firefly. Serenity. I think that would be where it's at. It's not, you know, ridiculously huge. Be like a 3-story building, maybe? But that would be nice. But it's got rooms and bathrooms and a kitchen and, you know, it has a theater room. You know, because you would make the bridge into a theater room, right? At one point I thought about doing a runabout. That would be fun. They're a small apartment size, right? Second one, painted black. I'm going to shift this so that I can not be raising my arm as much. Let's see. Serenity is mostly a big warehouse, but that's where you have your gaming hall, right? No, that's for airflow. If you're gonna have 10 or 15 people in it, you don't want it to be stuffy. And I mean, it wasn't a waste of space. It gave a place for conversations to be had while things were happening in the background. Totally a viable reason. Plus, you don't want to actually be hanging out with the cargo. Like, do you really want to be on the same floor as the cows? I mean, I don't know Laying Down the Lore podcast, but welcome. So what is this podcast? I know, but I mean, it's the whole if money were no option, would you choose a castle or serenity? I mean, huh. No, I hadn't heard of it. I do listen to a few podcasts, but mostly it's Paint Bravely and Warhammer and what's the other one? Uh, mind is not letting me think of it. Um, Gotten Miniac. One. Up. There. Snore hammer. Okay. But But yeah, I don't do so much lore as I do painting or collecting. I do enjoy reading books, but as far as just being told what's happened in the books, not as much. I don't know. Alright, did I get everything on this one? Paws, feet, back. Okay. But I don't know. I know it's not the most efficient or use of space or anything, but you know, people spend a lot of money on custom houses and might as well have something that looks cool. I mean, I wouldn't suggest doing it unless you were a multi-millionaire, but what else are you going to do with that kind of money, right? As you can see, I don't have a Serenity, so... Okay. Hello! How are you today? Go for it. 4 down, 61 to go. Good thing I chose a color scheme that requires so many steps, huh? Yeah. I mean, each step is fairly easy. It's just a matter of the repetition and the fact that a termagant takes, 15, 20 different steps. And this is actually a faster scheme than my original ones. Also, take it easy, have fun with your games. I will be posting photos at the end, like I usually do. Not that a picture of, one color different termagants is super exciting, but it's a step. These will all be worth it when I can call them all done. Alright, there's a lot of pictures. I gotta look at the pictures. Whoa. Okay. Ooh. That's a cool model. I'll have to pick one up eventually. I haven't seen one in person yet, so... Okay. So what's everyone else working on today? Solvix is going to play some games. The Grummery looks really cool. Well, yeah. I mean, of the three I've built so far, I still prefer the Strike Freedom. Because it was my first one. I've enjoyed all three so far, but it's the first one, so it has a special place so far. And I'm waiting for the one that will better it. So that happens. It's okay to have favorites, right? Yeah. I mean, I know there are tons of different designs, and they're all different shows and everything, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching more shows as well, but I've been really busy the last couple of days, and, you know, it actually feels good to just be working on a project right now. Like, there are other things I could be working on other than Termagants, but you know, there's 65 of these. It's gonna take a while. And I don't like leaving projects half done, so... But there's another one. That's number 6. We've been going for 30 minutes. Well, I mean, I also did the perfect strike freedom, so... Yeah. I think certain projects are totally worth just doing a step at a time and, you know, working towards a goal. And other things are better to just be done. You know, start it and finish it. And I think this is one of those first step things more than get it done, but it's exciting me and also maybe a little stress tossed in because this does finish several units that I started and never finished because at the time I wasn't worried about painting 10 at a time. So I painted, you know, some purple, some green, some blue, and I never really got around to finishing them. And, you know, now I'm looking at them going, okay, well, I should probably just finish these units. I still have to do the second half of every unit, you know, because you can take them in units of 20, but I just need to get the 10s done. Then I can at least run them in the right color combos. So, I don't know. There's part of me is like, this is a little overboard, but I don't know. I don't know. It just feels interesting, I guess. I don't know. I'm not, like, actually stressed, but it's, throwing off my, like, ooh, I want to work on that. But I got these. I don't know. I don't know what the right word would be. If it isn't stress, it's, the prioritization is a little bit weird, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Any thoughts? Good evening, Moth. Yeah, that's kind of it, and I don't really know how to explain it very much better than that. Like, there's no real deadline for these. It's just I started the project and now it feels like I need to get it done. Okay. That is number 7. Welcome, Moth's little one. But yeah, I don't know. There's something to be said about smaller projects. They don't usually make me feel this way. I don't know. Like, it's not worrisome. I mean, I'm working on these right now. Not like they're not getting done or anything. That's cool, Moth. But yeah, I might only get about 40% of these done tonight. That's kind of a crazy thought. But no, Moth is with Wolf. Yeah. You know what I haven't done yet? I haven't had tea. So I'm gonna finish the black on this one, and then I'm gonna have some tea because I'm starting to get thirsty. I saw that. Yeah. You know, it's cool to have friends that are across the world, you know? Like, it used to be, oh, you're not in the same town? You're never gonna get to meet them. And now it's like, it's everywhere. It's great. One of the benefits of the internet. Okay. It wouldn't be impossible to eventually meet, though. Yeah. Um. Like, if the schedule ever opened up enough for both of us, we could easily meet, because it's only about 3 hours. Not quite as easy about meeting up with Mustache or Solvix, though. One of these days, maybe we will. But today, I'm just painting black. Because it's gotta be done, right? If I want these models to be done, I need to paint them black first. It's crazy to think that I have to go over all of this black again. Twice more to finish these. Every single one of these pieces of black that I'm doing right now has at least one more layer that goes over it. This step is just a cleanup step between the flesh and the final product. I do feel like I'm getting a tiny bit faster painting these. as I'm going on tonight. Or I might just be getting a little bit sloppier. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's only so many different sculpts here. So it's like claw, claw, hoof, claw, hoof, claw, back 3 spikes. But yeah. Batch painting is definitely more fun when there are people to talk to. Okay, that's another one done. Yay. Alright. That's 10. So yeah, I think I'll get half of these done tonight. Out of 65, I should be able to get 35 done. Maybe. Hopefully. Well, now this one has spine fists. It's gonna throw me off. It's gonna take me longer. Not really, but... But yeah, that's not horrible. I mean, just because I'm working on 6.5 units at once, you know? Or I guess the equivalent of 6.5 units. It's actually part of 12? I'm going to be finishing 12 units with the 65 minis. I think I might have 2 of them already done, so 10? I don't know. It's a lot. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I'm doing 65 at once because it's going to finish off every one of the units that I started and didn't have finished already. So... Yep. I don't know why I never finished certain units. But I just went, you know, I'm going to paint 3 of this model, and I'm going to do it in green. And then I'm going to do 8 of this, and I'm going to do it in purple. I don't know. Just the way it happened. And this batch is going to finish up all of those units of 10 that haven't been done yet. And then from there on, I can do 1 unit at a time. Or 2. But I don't have to worry about all the different colors being blended in the squads. I don't know if it'll be a Tyranid Twitch Tuesday or not. I might decide to do a different project, because there are always side projects that are smaller. And painting black for 2 streams in a row might be a little bit much. I might decide to do... I don't know, maybe I'll paint a Marvel Crisis Protocol or a Battletech mini. Just to break it up a little bit. Yeah. Because the last finished model I did was actually a Marvel Crisis Protocol mini. During a stream. And since then, I've been working on these and another project. And... just, I haven't actually finished anything. What? Oh, work. Ugh. Only. Yeah. I mean, sometimes work is required. Sadly. Yeah. I don't know if I could handle just hobby, like painting, in that situation, but more time available for it would be nice. Yeah. 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 Yeah, staying motivated and getting exercise is hard even, you know, whether you have a job or not. So, like, I was doing a really physical job and I was exhausted constantly. I'm glad that I'm not there anymore, but, you know, now it's like, well, what is physical activity? Uh, trying to get better. I've been going and doing some walks as often as I can, trying to build up that stamina again because Desk life is a thing, too. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, back and knees. Very rough. My walks have shown me that my ankles and calves still need a little bit more work. I've been having some pain there occasionally. Probably need to find a way to stretch them a couple of times a day. What? Yeah, that might help. It's like, yeah, you know that's one of the few 40k armies that I'm not collecting. What are you talking about? Yeah, you can kind of tell there's a certain time period where I went, I want all of these. And then I went, you know what? I'm okay with the ones that I have. Because it's almost like when I got the AdMech, and then I didn't get Sisters or Gene Stealer Cults or Voton or World Eaters, or it's almost like there's an actual time where I went, you know what? I'm good. It's kind of weird. And some of the armies I'm still working on building up, but yeah, the War Games Atlantic looks really interesting as a Krieg army, but at the same time, I have so many other projects to do, and I think that's it. I don't think it's a monetary thing or anything like that, because I'm still adding models to my collections. I think it comes down to I have enough projects. And if I were to ever, like, finish my Tyranids and Orcs and Space Marines, maybe I would look into getting a Krieg Force or something else. But with the amount of games that I've added to my collection recently, I think I'm more widening the games rather than models in, or armies in games that I already have. So, maybe that? Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, the reason I have so many is because I have some funds available and I like sales. So, I jump on good deals a little more frequently than maybe I should, based on the continuing growing to the pile. Like, if all goes according to plan tomorrow, I will have 4 more points going into my collection. Negative. Because I am getting a vehicle and a model from someone for $20. Because I've never owned a drop pod. So ooh. White army white armor plates and turquoise? Ooh. But yeah, like, did I need a drop pod? Not particularly. For $20, is it worth getting one? Sure. So, would I buy one new at however much it is? Absolutely not. But yeah, I purchase a few more things than I need to. I know that. I'm aware of it. Ooh. I think it's almost tea time again. I kind of want to do some Krieg, like, alternatives, but also make them so they can be played in Trench Crusade. But I know there's a little bit of interest in it at the shop, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on Trench Crusade. As far as playing it, I don't know. I'm sure I have some models that would already work for it. I just made a mistake and I don't care. I'm not cleaning it. Hey, Julian! How's it going? I am painting my Termagant swarm. I'm getting the carapace black. I'm finally working on getting all of these units to units of 10. It's been years and years since I started this Tyranid army. I think it's been, what, 13 years? It's about time that I finally have full units. So, hope everything's going good for you. But where were we? Oh yeah. So, Krieg, I think, would be cool, but I would want to do Trench Crusade theme as well, just so that they're not just that one game. Imperial Guard armies right now are so points inefficient for fielding them, and I don't need more swarms right now. Right now. I don't need more swarms right now. So, like, just trying to get through 65 Termagants is taking a while. And this is nothing compared to the total number that I own. So, I don't know. Trying to get a couple of the swarms done before adding another swarm to it. Ooh, that sounds cool. Yeah, I was looking at the War Games Atlantic nights, and they're not quite the theme Like, the armor is underneath the tabards and stuff. So it's not quite what Trench Crusade looks like. So I could see that. But I don't need any more 2,000 point plus armies of swarms right now. Yeah. I like them aesthetically, but they don't really work for the game as well. I mean, not like you couldn't use them, but they don't have the aesthetic that people are looking at for them. I don't know. If I see people starting to play Trench Crusade, I'm totally willing to paint up a force and try it out. But until then, I think I have enough projects going that I can hold off until the time is right. You know? Because, like, just having all of these guys, that's gonna be fun. Because most of the Tyranid players at the shop have Monster Mash. Or Nidzilla, or whatever you want to call it. And that's their priority in the game. And I can understand that. It's easier to paint a couple of large models than a ton of smaller ones. But, you know, I want to bring swarm after swarm. Even if it isn't the best Tyranid list right now. Like, who doesn't want to see Hive Fleet skittle on the table? Just all colors all over the place, right? I'm looking forward to a game with them. Once I get them done. I don't actually know if I have the Crypt Keeper 5. Was that it? I don't actually know if I have 2,000 points of painted Tyranids yet that are not legends. And I'm not going to actually look into it right now. Because I'm actually on a roll with this, and I don't want to stop to find out. with Old One Eye and uh, the Swarm Lord from this year, maybe I do. I mean, technically they're not based yet because I haven't gotten around to basing, but I might have it? I don't know. This 65 minis is only about 400 points, I think we decided. So, once these are done, I should probably be at 2,000. Basing all of these is going to be so much joy. Yeah. Yeah, welcome. I also have orcs. Green Tide is extremely good right now. Or at least it was when I was playing it a few months ago. Unit of 20 boys with a pain boy. Really, really hard to shift. But it's just, you know, let's bring all the Termagants and Hormagants. Yeah. A bit of Daka on the way in to the Wa. But I do have 2,000 points of painted orcs. Of my 6,000 points of orcs that I own. So my goal for Orktober this year is actually to get another 2,000 points painted. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, stealth? Okay. Yeah, the last several months, I was playing my salamanders with the Flamestorm detachment or whatever it is. So I try to have a main army I'm playing for 2 or 3 months and then change it up a little bit. So at the beginning of 10th edition, I was playing Tau and Eldar. And Tau was really, really bad, so it ended up mostly being Eldar, but I also had a 33% win rate with them. So I wasn't playing the most meta of options with them. When everyone else was getting, you know, 60 or 70% win rates. So I like giving all of my armies at least a little bit of attention each edition, but Kill Crusher, huh? Welcome, Sedan. How's it going? I wouldn't mind seeing it, John, if you want to post it in my Discord too. There should be a link in the description. I think it works. If it doesn't work, let me know. It's a trap, huh? I like cheese. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool. Look at all that DACA. That's cool. Yeah. On the little grot. That's cool. I like it. Cool. Yep. I have my notifications on to make noise. But yeah, that looks like it's going to be really fun to paint up. I still have plans for a kit bash, or I guess a little bit more than a kit bash. I plan on melting down sprue. I'm going to turn one Stompa kit into 2 Stompas, with a little bit of extra sprue and bits and everything. So I actually have the weapon sprues from a Baneblade. Still trying to figure out how I want to use the turret. If I want to mount it as an arm, or if I want to make it the head. I've got several months to figure it out, but... And who knows what other bits I'll find between now and then to add to the Stompas, but... Yeah. They look like really cool kits. I just have the couple of extra bits, not the actual full kit. but I'm sure I'll be able to orcify it fairly well. I mean, that's just one of those things. You purchase kits, you get to them, or you don't. I did lose count. I don't know exactly what number that was, but maybe 20, or maybe at 20. Yeah. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I think I spent $20 on the spare bits at the last swap meet I went to. And I was like, that's several sprues worth of plastic bits. That's worth it. My orcs will be thrilled to have that. So but yeah, that project is for the second half of the year for me. So there's always more projects to be worked on. Ooh, that is a tempting thing. I'd have to look into how much patents would cost. And what scale I would want it at. Because I know 35th scale is the thing that most of those would have. Water is ready for tea, and Discord's popping a lot. I should check them both. And I'm almost done with this. I just need to do the thighs. And I'm gonna check it all out. Ah, okay. Okay, that one's done. Alright. Pour the water. Oh. That's cool. Okay, yeah, that looks definitely like an orky type thing. That definitely looks orky. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean you can run 2 Stompas in a 2,000 point list, so why not have 2, right? I plan on having one of my 2 Stompas is going to have the feet, and the other one is going to have a hover tank and a Chimera chassis under it. So I'll have Stompa and Rolla. But I could just see, 1,600 points of Stompas on the table, and like 2 mechs and 2 units of Grots, and just having it being 2 mechs having a fight when the opponent shows up. Alright, have a good one, Mustache. Happy to see you. But yeah, I want to do the 2 Stompas and have it so it's like a themed battle. So, if I want to do that for October, I should probably start focusing on some of the major build portions August, maybe July, because I need to at least get the framework built before I add all the other things to it. And that's going to take some melting of sprues, and that's going to take a while. So I want to have it finished for Orktober, or during Orktober. So bit of planning ahead of time and all that, you know? Oh yeah. I just finished the Salamanders Crusade, and I think I won 2 games out of 10. I've noticed a few things about Crusade that I should probably build towards instead of away from, but I have fun with bringing it and being one of the lower percent winner, winning armies. I like bringing themes instead of meta, so it happens. But I think Estampa is definitely in order for my orcs. This one's done. Okay. Ah, yep. Yep. Oh. I'll definitely watch that later. Mustache just shared a Rotzilla thing. Okay. But no, I can understand it. I would play Kill Team, but there are no Tyranid armies. Like, how can I play my Tyranids in a game system that every faction has one? And then there is no Kill Team for Tyranids. And it's like, okay. It just feels weird. So, I totally understand the whole Necromunda orc conundrum. Of course, you could also... No, there's no Tyranid list in there. At least not that I've seen. I can reread the instructions and stuff, the rules, but I do not believe that the Tyranids have a force that you can take. Oh, and yeah, as far as Necromunda, you could definitely paint up a unit of orcs that are carrying signs that say, totally Umi or something. Ah, yep. Yep, yep. I wouldn't mind getting some tank busters, but I would probably kit bash my own instead of purchasing the models. Um, I don't know. They look really cool, but at the same time I have tons of boys that... I think I actually have more boys than I can run. I have more than 120. Not all of them are painted up. But I could easily kit bash a couple of rockets here and there. Plus, kit bashing is fun. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Yep. Yeah, I know Gene Stealer cults is a thing, but I'm talking about actual Tyranids. It's like, is it really that hard to just run, 4 warriors or a warrior and a lictor? And, give me some options that I can play them. I would like it. But I did finish painting my commandos not too long ago, so I could theoretically play them. Yeah. I mean, it's all about just having fun, and if the person you're playing against doesn't like it, I mean, why? Why would they not like it? You're building something fun and thematic. You're being creative. Like, that sounds good to me. Oh, all right. What's crazy is I'm still on the first of the trays. I will stretch after I'm done with this one. I mean, it's always a good thing to try. I've definitely purchased a few models already this year. Um, but I've also sold some models this year, so not quite equal, but also not as bad as it could be. Of course, I also play Horde armies, so... New bugs. Oh. Those guys were really cool, and they almost made me want to buy into the system, into the game. Just for those. But with all the other things that I have, that was one of those, how many games am I ever actually going to get with the game system? Like, I don't know anyone who plays Necromunda around here. So that made it really hard to actually do anything with. But it does look like a fun game. Okay, another one done. Oh yeah? That's actually pretty cool, because I think the nearest GW from me is 2 hours away. Or nearly. Oh, okay. That's a nice trade. Ugh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's possible that too, but... Oh, yeah. Pop, pop, pop. Stretch, stretch. Alright. I mean, I'll say my game shop that I go to had zero Battletech going on until I actually started asking people if they wanted to play and contacting a few of the other game shops that did have some Battletech going on and asking if they wanted to come play. So I'm being the change about that game. We've had 3 different days where we've had Battletech now. So, slow, but it's moving in the right direction. Yeah, that sounds great. Honestly, what was it, about 6 months ago when Solvix was talking about a bunch of different games? I looked at them, and Necromundo was one of them. Marvel Crisis Protocol and Battletech were others, and Gundam was in that pile. And of all of those things, Necromunda is the only one that I didn't end up taking. Or no, I guess Infinity was also in there too. I haven't done that either. But like there were people playing Marvel Crisis Protocol, and Battletech is easy enough to pick up enough forces for multiple people. So like I did pick up a few of the games. I just didn't do the ones that were more in depth in what you had to pick up and less likely to be played around here. Because I have other games that no one plays. I have Weird's Malifaux and The Other Side. I have minis for both of those games, and no one around here plays, even though I'm like an hour and a half, 2 hours from their headquarters. Just no one plays them. And that really soured me on the whole picking up game systems that are fairly expensive that no one around here plays. So that's cool. But like I really do enjoy the look of Infinity models. I like the idea that they're metal. I would not mind having a force or two. But I'm not going to purchase everything I need for multiple people to play just for them to go, no, not interested. So, there is that. I might pick up a couple of their models just because they're cool to paint at some point when I'm not, trying to paint up a ton of my backlog. Because, like, would I be working on those or the 65 Termagants? You know? I already own these 65 Termagants. I also already own the other 100 plus Termagants. And Hormagaunts behind me. And it kind of makes sense to paint up the things that I already have before buying even more. It's one thing if I'm building up a force and I need, 5 or 6 more models to hit 2,000 points. It's another thing entirely to get a whole extra game that doesn't get played around here. So, I don't know. It's one of those balancing acts, I guess, because there are so many cool models out there, and you have to prioritize what you actually want to put the time and effort and money into. So, right now, time and effort, Termagants. Money, finish off my Drukhari and Admech armies to a point where I can build them up. 2,000 points. Maybe 2,500 points, because then I have options when point changes happen. A little bit more Marvel Crisis Protocol, because each character gives another option to build a list. But it doesn't need to be all GW, and it definitely doesn't need to be the hype. Huh. Okay. That's pretty cool. I've seen several Necromunda models that I think would be really cool to add to just random paint jobs, or into forces that don't actually have them. Oh, what were they? There were 2 or 3 models in the newest box set that looked amazing, and I wanted them for conversions, and they were not the mouse drains. Funny enough. It was one of the jump dudes or something like that. I don't know. But I don't actually remember what I wanted them for. I just thought they looked really cool. So, my music stopped. I will have to go fix that. Once I'm done with this Termagant. My streamer thing's actually showing, hey, your audio's pretty low. Wonder if it's because the music stopped. Kind of funny. Alright. Alright. So, I've gotten that many done. Yeah, the Spirers. Okay. I don't remember why I wanted them. I have that couple right here, and this whole tray still to go. Okay. Music. There we go. Oh, you gonna get to hobby tonight? Sweet. I hope it's exciting and you get a lot of things done. Yeah, that looks like a really cool way to do it. I'm actually a little annoyed that they took away the generic guard unit and made it so it's just Katie and Katachin and Krieg now. That really upset me. I liked the fact that there were... yeah, but I had an idea for an Imperial Guard army, and I'm not as interested in it now because of that split. They removed options and made it less interesting for me to build my own. So, a little annoyed with that. But I wasn't going to get to that project anytime soon anyway, so... You know, sometimes it happens. But I do like the idea of the... Yeah, why, James Workshop? Why? Why are you trying to make it less enjoyable to do random models? I mean, I understand they want to sell more models and they want to have you buy the new specialty thing, and it's easier to balance for sales if they have less things to actually balance. I do understand it. Just because it's less fun for the hobby doesn't mean it's less monetary gain for them. So, I do understand. But since I never actually got to that project, I'm not that worried about it. If I was like 80% of the way through, I would just keep on going. But since I was at, 10%, maybe, it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Project I'm not gonna need to do. One less thing on the plate. Yeah. I haven't actually looked at the new Crusade book yet. I know that the next thing at the game shop is Escalation League, and I'm going to continue painting my salamanders. But that's in March, so I'm not that worried about it at the moment. Just trying to get some more of my Termagants painted before then. One of the things that I realized after I did my State of the Collection video was that last year I only painted 12 Tyranids. I only painted 12 Tyranids last year. In a whole year. This is my largest 40k army that I've owned the longest, and I only painted 12 of them. So, when I'm done with this 65, I will absolutely have done more. And, this isn't going to be the only Tyranid stuff I'm gonna paint this year. Yeah. And see, that's another thing. It's like, certain armies, they don't have the same priority. Like, I do paint at least 1,000 points of orcs every year because Orktober exists. And I have a lot of fun painting orcs for a whole month. And then the rest of the year, the other 11 months, they don't get as much attention, if any. If any. But it's okay, because they get a whole month to themselves every year. So. Are you talking about the Scaventide box? That was only a month. That took 30 days to build, prime, paint, and base all of Scaventide. Which is actually a reason why I have 1,000 points or more of Stormcast painted up now. Because I think there was 1,200 points inside of that box. And I already had 1,000 points of Skaven before that, but that added another 1,200 to the stack. I don't think they're going to be doing another launch box this year, but that was very productive, that 1 month. I mean, that was 74 minis and 4 pieces of terrain in 30 days. Yeah. Oh no, I started this army over a dozen years. It was like 12 years ago, and I chose a color scheme that took a lot more steps than that. And this color scheme now is actually a faster version of what I used to do. This is the third generation of paint schemes, and it is faster than the original two. It looks just about as good, and they blend fairly well with the other ones. So, but I've never actually chosen an army for speed painting so much as finding a color scheme I like and painting up to whatever standard I'd like it to be. So, I know there are a lot faster ways to paint Tyranids, but I chose a color scheme I like, and I'm working towards that for everything. Even my Termagants. I am wondering how I'm going to do the Neurogants, though, because they're not quite the same. We'll see. Alright. Okay. Another one done. Yep. I don't think I've stripped very many models at all. And I don't think I've ever stripped any of my own models. You know, the ones that I've painted. I've touched up a few of them, but I've never started over from scratch. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I can understand if you're picking up a color scheme that was already done. I actually started learning how to paint from a specific YouTube channel with Termagants. And, channel's long gone, but a lot of the techniques that I was using, I, followed from that, so... Oh yeah, that's a nice classic look. I'm gonna have to re-glue him, but he still gets painted. If you look back in the finished projects, I think it is, by about a week or two, you can see my uh, old One Eye and a few other Tyranids that I've painted this year. That'll show off my color scheme if you haven't seen it. My finished project. But I really do like the way they come out. They look really great on the table. It just takes extra effort to get them there. Alright. A little bit more tea. 25 more minutes of painting. We'll get a few more done. So I believe I'm going to be getting a game of Battletech and a game of Marvel Crisis Protocol in tomorrow at the game shop. I might be able to squeeze in a second one of those. But always nice to have a couple of different games to play. And a lot of people are taking a break from 40k because we just finished the Crusade and had a tournament. So people are just taking a couple of weeks, playing other games, stuff like that. And then we do the Escalation League in March. So, you know, taking a little bit of time away from 40k is sometimes a nice, healthy change, and get a couple of other games in. Okay. That one actually felt like it went by really fast. Like I missed something, but I don't see anything. That's a good thing. Yeah. I will build a Trench Crusade force as soon as I actually see someone at the game shop I go to playing it. Not before. I just can't get into even more games if they're not going to get played. But I am interested in it, and I think I have some models already that could work, that I could just get painted up, so I wouldn't mind. I just want to see the actual game being played before I put the time into painting something up. I don't know. I have enough games and models to paint already, so to win out on a priority, it needs to actually be viable. Yep. I know the feeling. Again, I didn't spend as much time last year painting Tyranids as I would have liked, and I didn't even realize it at the time. So I'm trying to front load a little bit, having some Tyranids painted up, just so that I'm not upset at the end of the year that I didn't get very many painted. Like this 65 right here, plus the ones I've already painted, it's gonna be at least 5 times, 6 times what I did last year. And that's if I don't even touch them again for the rest of the year, which I don't plan on ignoring. So I plan on doing a lot more a lot more Tyranids over the course of this year. I don't think I'll finish painting them because I have 600 minis for them. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to paint them all this year because that would be a little extreme. But if I get another, this is going to be about 10%, a little over 10%. If I get another 10% over this done this year, that's pretty good. Especially if I do, let's see, I could see painting up the Barb Gaunts and some Hive Guard and Tyrant Guard. That could be good. Yeah. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I have some weird The Other Side minis. And they're not painted, and I think if I painted them in a grimdark style, they could work for, what is it? One of the Chaos ones. With the magic and the demons and I have plenty of zombie-like creatures, and I don't know. I could probably get 2, maybe 3 forces built out of those models. So, and since I've not ever seen anyone play The Other Side, I mean, I've never even seen anyone play Malifaux locally, which is sad because I would love to play my guild force. But again, it's why they're not painted up yet. But with a few head swaps, I think I could even get and arm swaps, I could probably get my unbuilt Scorn infantry to work for a Sultanate force. Sultanate. There we go. Just with some heads and weapons, I think that could be done. Yeah. I mean, if you're happy with the results, I don't think that's really a horrible thing. But if you're feeling like it's taking too long, yeah, find a couple of shortcuts. Like, my Termagants, other than cleaning them up and priming them, I've put 6 hours into them to get to this point. It's gonna take another 3 or so to paint up the rest of the black, and then I still have several steps after that, but I love the way they come out, so I'm not gonna stop painting them the way that I do. The effort is worth it for the result. So, I don't know. Oh yeah, there's an A before the U. But anyway, they are really cool models, and I want to paint them up, but it doesn't make sense painting models for the sake of painting them if I don't get the games in, if I have other models that take precedence by getting painted and played with. That was a mouthful. I think that makes sense though, right? I think that made sense. But I chose 2 of the guild options. I have the Dia de los Muertos and the family with the granny and the little steampunk cart, and I really want to paint them, but how am I ever going to use any of these guys outside of picking up a game of Malifaux with someone? And like I said, I don't even know anyone else who owns any, let alone plays the game. And so it's like, it's really hard to put that time into building and painting minis that are gonna sit on a shelf. Whereas I can take the same amount of effort and paint up the same number of Marvel Crisis Protocol minis, and I know there are people playing on Saturday and Sunday every week at the game shop. So, like, every now and then I want to just paint up a cool looking model, but at the same time, when I have 500 and some odd, 600 Tyranid models, and I can play with Tyranids whenever I want to, you know, Tyranids have the priority today. Marvel Crisis Protocol will probably be the thing I paint on Tuesday. Just because. Or maybe Battletech. Maybe I'll paint some Battletech on Tuesday. It's not Tuesday, I don't know yet. But both of those games, I can play with those models. And that does have some value to me in my painting queue. That might change over time, but, you know, I think it's nice to have some variety and change it up every now and then as well. So, who knows? Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, it just... There's no reason not to paint up the other ones, but when you can get them played, so much stronger. And it really does feel great playing with fully painted models. Like, I will still play games without having them painted. I'm not purist like that, because I'd rather just get a game in, and I don't care if my opponent has painted or not. But it does look cool having fully painted on fully painted. There is just something about it that just takes it to the next step, you know, the next level. What's also funny is this is technically 3-color. It's actually like 5-color already. I think I only have like 7 or 8 more steps to get these guys done. Like, fully done. Oh, heck yeah, those tiles are amazing. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's totally worth a month per. Totally worth a month. I know. I know. I mean, I've taken a couple of pictures with just these sitting on the table, all facing the same direction, and it's like, oh my goodness, that looks great. But I know once I get all of the details done, it's going to look even cooler. And it's not like I'm trying to, you know, do 6 layers of blending for the flesh and, you know, non-metallic metal for the, you know, layer on the claws. I just use a gloss black. Um, you know, there are steps that I'm like, okay, yeah, it doesn't need to be perfect. Like I had a couple of my models have a little black splotch where the paint today has gone over onto the skin. I'm not gonna bother cleaning that out. All right, I'm gonna finish this one and then call it a night myself. So thanks for hanging out, and I hope I see you again later. But yeah, I think it's great to just have a nice looking army. And I may have chosen a little bit more detail than I need to for a swarm, but I'm happy with the results. And I'm going to continue painting them to this level. So because honestly, 3 hours of painting black is about as much as I can go. Oh, yep, see, I just made a mistake. Oh no. Um, yeah, 3 hours is about as much time I can spend painting black at one time. Sure, I'll have to do it again for another probably 3 hours, but not tonight. Think I'm good for that. Oh yeah. All right. Where is this? So if I zoom out, I hit autofocus, and zoom out some more. There we go. There. That is not a bad night of painting black. I mean, sure, I have that many more to go, but that is not bad at all. So yeah, thank you all for stopping in. I hope you enjoyed. And until the next time, I hope you find your bit of bliss.